Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to the Avexia webinar series. Our topic for today is profitable packaging strategies to increase your impact and income. Break the cycle of burnout and scale with freedom. My name is Christopher Chu. I'm the Director of Marketing for Avexia Diagnostics and will be your host for this webinar. Today, I have the distinct pleasure of being joined by an exciting guest, Jenn Malecha, who will be our presenter for this webinar. Jenn Malecha, the holistic health boss, helps career-driven, results-focused health entrepreneurs make $10,000 or more per month quickly by finding their ideal clients with a start-to-finish approach for building, pricing, selling, and effectively delivering programs so they can scale their impact and income. As a health business advisor with over a decade of business and project management experience, training in functional diagnostic nutrition and transformational coaching, Jenn has helped hundreds of health professionals create profitable practices that allow them to heal thousands of people while working less and taking better care of themselves. Through her Holistic Health Boss health coaching brand, she also supports busy, health-minded professionals in taking back control of their health by giving them access to the right lab tests and resources so they can find the missing pieces of their health puzzle, actually fix what is wrong, and get back to feeling like themselves again. Without further delay, I will now turn the webinar over to Jenn.
It's said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. If this picture could talk, it would tell you that this is the whole reason why we're actually all here. This was the first picture that my brother, mother, and me took in almost 20 years. 2 years before this picture, my mom was hospitalized with liver failure from her alcohol addiction. In the hallway of the tiny hospital in her tiny hometown just outside of Santa Barbara, the doctor told me she had an 80% chance of dying in the next 90 days, and the liver specialist from Stanford only came to visit once a month. In the blinding fluorescent light of that hallway, it became clear to me that if she was going to make it, I would have to fight for her. At the time, I lived 6 hours away from her in San Diego, working a 9-to-5 corporate wellness job, so I could only see her on the weekends. I would go into the office early on Fridays to get my work done so I could leave early in an attempt to avoid LA traffic as much as possible. A few months later, the company fired me for doing this, but it was the exact kick in the pants I needed to get serious about the health business I had been slowly building on the side after being diagnosed with skin cancer in my 20s and studying functional medicine. My efforts proved to be successful. Mom was eventually moved to hospice in Santa Barbara, where she saw a liver specialist weekly and lived to take this picture. This picture was also taken just 30 days after my brother's best friend and roommate showed up at my house with a spoon. The spoon was bent and burned. There was no more denying his heroin addiction. I quickly rallied my family for an intervention, and to our relief, as my brother sat in my dad's big old recliner in the corner of his apartment, he accepted our help. We immediately packed up his things so that my dad could drive him to the rehab center of his choice in Northern California. This picture was from one of the times that I flew up there to attend his program's family support meetings with him, all made possible by the freedom and independence I had been building into my business and my life. 3 years after this picture, addiction actually got the better of my mom, but I was able to drop everything and the bedside in her final days, making me forever grateful for the laughter and joy that we shared on this hike when we all took this picture together. And just last year, my brother celebrated 10 years of sobriety. As we reminisced, he shared for the very first time that a part of what got him through those early days of sobriety was the feeling that I was right there doing it with him. Now, I bet all of you have a picture like this or a moment in your mind that represents the journey that you have been on and the purpose behind building your business and why you want to help people so much. These are the moments that we live for that really matter. So today I'm going to show you how to profitably package yourself, not only to increase your impact and your income, but so that you can also build a business and a life full of freedom to be present for the moments that matter most to you. And profitably packaging myself has been the cornerstone of how I have been able to get transformational results for clients to increase my impact and income that I'm going to show you how to do today. And I am so grateful for being able to partner with Avexia to bring this training to you to help you all do this too. Hi, I'm Jenn Malecha, a functional diagnostic health practitioner, and I've been in practice for over 10 years. I've built a multiple six-figure virtual health business online to create that personal and professional freedom. And for the last 8 years, I have business coached thousands of people just like you. But I'll admit, when I became a functional health practitioner over 10 years ago, it took me a while to figure out how to find ideal clients, confidently enroll them, and build financial stability in my business. In the beginning, I thought I was doing the right thing by creating personalized packages to address a person's specific symptoms and budget. However, this led to a lot of disorganization and overwhelm that took up a ton of my time. It distracted me from not only doing the things that I needed to do to help people get results, but also from being fully present with the clients that I had. Instead of presenting myself as the expert, I was essentially an order taker. And ultimately, I wasn't getting the best results in my business or with clients. So I decided to give packages a try by adopting the typical 90-day and 6-month program approaches that are taught in just about every other business training out there. However, the confidence in my new programs was quickly crushed every time I enrolled the wrong client who wasn't compliant, and when I realized that my packages weren't really meeting my clients' needs. The wrong clients that I enrolled either ghosted me or exhausted me, and the ideal clients I enrolled in these specific time frame type of programs ended up needing more than 90 days or even months sometimes. As a functional health practitioner or coach running lab tests, you know that you can't always predict exactly what's going to come back on lab test results or how long it will actually take a person to feel better. For example, if you run a stool test, it can come back with a variety of pathogens, and maybe the protocol to address all of them could be anywhere from 2 to 6 months or longer. So I felt terrible selling clients into a very time frame specific program that wasn't seeing them all the way through the end of their protocol and the transformation that I had promised them during a consultation. This is when I decided to break free from the typical approach to niching and packages in order to actually fit my clients' needs, which increased my confidence, allowed me to work more efficiently, and elevate my income. Learning from my mistakes is what helped me build this six-figure business that actually helps hundreds of people heal while I get to work less and have the freedom in my life for the most important things. So today, what you're going to walk away knowing are a lot of the lessons that I learned in my business so that you can fast track your success. We are going to talk about the most common pitfalls that I see other practitioners fall into that I fell into as well too when it comes to packages. And we're also going to talk about what those solutions are. How do you pivot that and create success? We're going to discuss package structures that actually increase client compliance, get them better results, and ultimately lead to referrals for you. And then strategic pricing strategies to help you build profit into your business to achieve that financial freedom and so that you can live the life that you desire. But before we get started, there's a couple things that we need to agree on. I am going to pack as much information in here in our time together in the next 50 minutes or so. And in order to give you the greatest value during our time together, my intention is to be fully present and engage with you. And in order to give you that value, here's what I need from you. I need you to also be fully present and engaged too, because we know that when you show up fully, you get the most value out of your time, just like the clients that you work with. So at the end, I'm going to check in with you to see what resources or support you need to help you put this information in together, to put this information into practice, to get into action and create that greater impact and income. I promise that I will not leave you hanging as long as you're here with me. So I love to Just check on everybody right now. Can we all commit to being present and engage with me to get the most value? Go ahead and drop yes in the chat so we know that we're all on the same page here together as a community. Lots of yeses. Love that. Thank you. And let's go ahead and dig right in with pitfall number 1, trying to help everybody. As the saying goes, when you try to help everyone, you're helping no one. I fell into this pitfall first too, and I see so many other health professionals doing the same thing. I totally get it. We are heart-centered health professionals or coaches who have the knowledge and tools to help heal all types of people and health problems. So the idea of niching down or narrowing down into this ideal client can bring up a lot of resistance. I also resisted the idea of niching down when I first started my health business because I thought, just like I bet a bunch of you think too, but I can help everyone. By trying to serve everyone, I was constantly scrambling to create custom packages, programs, and resources, and found myself feeling totally burnt out at the end of client sessions, at the end of the day, and completely exhausted by the end of the week. Not being clear on who you want to work with creates more work. It pulls you in multiple directions and eats up your time and focus, which can quickly lead to burnout. So, as you may have guessed, the solution here is actually niching down. What most functional health practitioners and coaches don't realize is that nailing a niche is critical to developing every other aspect of your business, including your website, packages, programs, social media content, and so much more. Similar to how we use lab test results to guide recommendations for health improvement, your niche does the same thing for all of the components of your business. It is the guiding light. I also like to talk about the niche like the gut of your business. We all know here that like gut health is the cornerstone, it's the foundation for all of the health body, right? So your niche is the foundation. It is the gut of your business too. Because the truth is, without a niche, your marketing efforts will miss the mark. You'll attract clients who don't show up or who aren't invested in the work, and you'll quickly find yourself burnt out. Versus when you are clear on your niche, you'll attract a common person with common problems who need similar solutions to guide and streamline all of the aspects of your business. And as you're about to see, your niche is the guide for being able to actually create profitable packages. So let me help ease the resistance around niching and liberate you. Because the solution here is what I like to call a non-traditional approach to niching. A lot of the resistance around niching is triggered by the traditional approach to niching, which focuses on demographics. Demographics are things like gender or age range or condition specific, which I resisted as well too, because I was like, I want to work with men and women. I can work with all ages. As a non-licensed professional, as a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, I also have to be really careful about making specific claims around conditions, right? So, what turned this all around for me was focusing on something that we call psychographics. So, psychographics liberate us from the traditional demographics of niching. Psychographics are things like what are somebody's behaviors or characteristics? What are their personality traits? What is it about them that makes them perfectly aligned and this perfect client for you? What is the common experience it is that they are having in life that you know how to solve for them? And the cool thing about this, what I came to find in discovering my own niche, and as I've worked with thousands of other health professionals, is that your niche or your ideal client is a reflection or version of you. So think about this in context of why do you surround yourself with the people that you do, like your friends, or what are the colleagues that you get along the best with? The reason behind that is because you have things in common. You have shared values or morals or perspectives or experience in life that help you to build a relation, to have rapport and trust within each other. This is true for your ideal clients too. This is actually what makes you unique. We can look at this room of professionals right now, all 46 of you who are on this call at this moment, who all have similar credentials. Your credentials are not what make you unique. Who you are as a person is what makes you unique in this industry. It is what will help you stand out amongst the crowd. It is why somebody would choose you over me as their expert guide. So, for example, when I was going through this process and as I identified my niche, how I describe my niche or my ideal client is my niche is a busy, health minded professional who's looking for the missing pieces of their health puzzle so they can actually fix what is wrong and get back to feeling like themselves again. Notice how I describe that person without using any demographics, but also notice how I described that person was very specific. And that person is me or was me. When I was diagnosed with skin cancer at 26 for no reason, like no rational reasons, I felt like I was the healthiest person that I knew, but there was something missing about my health puzzle that nobody could explain to me. I was a busy, health-minded professional who was looking for the missing pieces of my health puzzle to get back to feeling like myself again. And my ideal clients are too. The other really cool thing about when we do this is when we recognize that our niche, our ideal client is a reflection of us, it completely dissolves the feeling of imposter syndrome. There is no more questioning whether you know enough or you are able to help people or if you need more education. Because when we hone in on this and we connect with this person, this is your experience in life. You already have the answers. You've already been in their shoes. And when you show up in the world talking about this ideal person and as it relates to your story, your experience, you are attracting the people that are two steps behind you that need exactly what you have today and where you are in your journey. And for some of you who might be sitting there going, well, I'm not in this work because of my own personal story, Jen. I didn't have a health story. I got into this work somewhere else. There is still a story behind that. There's still psychographics and qualities about you that are going to be reflected in an ideal client too, that we can pull out from there. So when you actually niche down, here's what becomes possible for you. Just like Sandy, who came into our group and said that she signed up her first full-time client this morning, who is her niche, her super ideal person. And she's learning to market to who she wants to work with because she has this clarity and she's easily finding them. Or like Debbie Robinson, who did this work with me and all of a sudden was on fire. People were booking discovery calls left and right with her. Now let's talk about pitfall number 2. This is maybe a no-brainer given the part of my story that I shared with you already, creating custom packages. Creating custom packages for every client that walks through your practice door only leads to that disorganization and overwhelm. It's like reinventing the wheel every single time you enroll a client, making it impossible to establish a workflow process that you and your client can efficiently follow. It actually eats up your time with measly administrative tasks and distracts you from doing the more important things in your business and with your clients. And instead of establishing yourself as the expert and creating clear, concise packages aligned with who your niche is and the transformation they are looking for, don't be just an order taker because clients are coming to you looking for somebody who can confidently give them a plan. Remember, when you embrace your niche, that ideal client, you will attract a common person with common problems who need similar solutions. So you already know exactly what they need in a package. This gives you the foundation to work more efficiently because you already have that package ready to go, which frees up your time so that you can help more people and make more money and have that freedom in your life. So the solution is creating packages that are designed for this ideal client. When you know who this ideal person is that has this, who this common person is with common problems that need similar solutions, you will know exactly how to best serve them to get the best results. So, for example, when we intimately know who this person is, we know exactly what bundle or series of lab tests that we always want to start with to collect as many clues as possible up front, as much data as possible up front, to be able to see the correlations along the different systems of the body and use that data to guide their recommendations for the changes that they need to make. We also will know exactly what types of sessions to include in their program or their package. So, for example, I have 3 different types of sessions in my package based upon what my ideal person needs. I have an initial 80-minute results review session. So once all the lab tests come in, I analyze them, put together my summary and protocol. We sit together for 80 minutes and we go over like a high-level overview summary of their results and their recommendations so that they have an understanding of what all these pieces of their health puzzle are. And it's 80 minutes because I know that that's what they have the capacity for. They couldn't handle 2 hours or more than that. And I also know that an hour is not enough. The second type of session that I have in my program is a specific supplement review session. So after we go through all of their results and summary, the very next session after that is dedicated to reviewing their supplement recommendations in detail and teaching them how to introduce each supplement one at a time and titrate it up to find their dose. Because in that 80-minute results review session, they're so infiltrated with information, it's not reasonable to ask them to hold on to information about supplements. So we have a specific session for that. After that, we move into ongoing sessions to address the specific lifestyle topics that they need to go through in order to transform their health and get results. In my biggest program, I have a total of 18 sessions, and I know exactly what topic I am doing in every single one of those sessions because I know what my ideal client needs. I also have what's called a reassessment session. So every so often in that, course of 18 sessions, every 6 sessions, we are reassessing their health status, sure that they are on track, making progress, and so we can make course correction if we need to keep them on track. This also remotivates them and engages them in the program because I recognize that my busy health-minded professionals need to see the data. They want to see that they are making progress on paper. When we intimately know who this person is, we also will know how much time that we should spend in session with them. So my sessions, like I said, the first one is 80 minutes. After that, everything is 45 minutes. 30 minutes is not enough, and an hour would be too long based on who this person is. I also know what the cadence of my session should be. How frequently should I meet with them? When I first started, I was meeting with people on a weekly basis, and they were showing up feeling really defeated. And I was like, oh, they're busy. Remember, Jen? They have a professional life. They needed more time in between our appointments to integrate the information that I was sharing. So now in the beginning, I meet with them every 2 weeks to give them that integration time. And then we space out their sessions every 3 weeks and 4 weeks towards the end as they get more comfortable and compliant doing the work. And with all of this information, then obviously I know how much time I should account for that I need to spend outside of sessions because I know exactly how many labs I'm doing up front. I know exactly what topics I'm doing in each session. I can then like strategically calculate and know exactly how much time it's going to take me to prepare for each one of those sessions. And I'll have this efficiency to actually transform people's lives. Now, I want to switch it over to Joanne, who's here with us from Avexia, from this community. And I want Joanne to talk a little bit about some of the resources that are available for you guys with Avexia that align with this, that help you work more efficiently, especially in ordering your lab tests. So remember, when you know exactly who your ideal client is, you know exactly what lab test you would want to run up front with them to collect all this information. And so Avexia has some really great features that helps you to be efficient in your ordering process to kind of be more profitable in this kind of way. So Joanne, why don't we go ahead and have you take it over?
Wonderful. Thank you so very much, Jen, for hosting this in conjunction with Avexia. It's so great to see so many current Avexia clients on board with this session. This is one of our first webinars that we've done on a topic that is not science related for a particular lab. So wonderful to have everybody on board here. Just want to make sure that I can go ahead and share my screen. And I'm just going to walk through a little bit. Jen's given me just a few minutes to walk through with that. So I'm just going to log on over here. Again, there we have so many resources on our regular Avexia website that's on here. Again, we work with, of course, non-licensed providers as well as licensed providers. I just want to go ahead and take a peek and be able to go ahead and log in right here. And let's just... There we are. All right. So here is our dashboard. This looks very familiar to everybody that is on today's session with that too. What Jenn had just referred to is just navigating through and being able to maybe star or favorite some of your favorites and some of the lab packages that you're going to do. So I just want to point you out in this direction. Your test menu is really your encyclopedia of all of the 28 lab partners that we work with. You're going to be able to find everything that we do based on all of our specialty labs over in this section. We do work with conventional labs, of course, working through LabCorp, Avexia panels, and the ability for our practitioners to build and name their own custom panels. So a really easy way, if you are having any custom panels that are created for labs or blood work, you're going to be able to create your panels here. And you are able to, for any conventional labs, just put a star next to anything that might be a routine panel that you're going to do. And then as you're going into orders, just those selected custom panels are going to be there, as well as anything that you might want to do for specialty labs. So over walking through here, I'm going to take just a peek over here and go over to our test ordering. As you build your patients in the directory, of course, you will find them in here. As you want to place any packages or orders, I will use myself as an example in here. We're going to go through here. And then again, starting with the first lab order, I'm going to go ahead and add a new lab order. And I'm going to walk you through how to start any packages for some of those specialty labs. So in this section here, you're going to go ahead and click on specialty labs. You'll just need to do this the very first time you are in an order, and then you will be able to find all of that right at the top. This is just an example. I just want to make sure I can show everybody how I did this. This is our selections for all of our specialty labs. They are broken out by each of those individual lab partners. For example, if you know you are going to be working with any Genova labs, you're able to click on in the section here and go ahead and find what you might be looking for. By putting a star here, the very first time, it's just going to move that up at the very top. So as you build those packages, you're going to be able to identify what's going to work best with your patients and clients, and those will all be displayed up here at the very top of that. So that is the easiest way to walk through any of that. Diagnostic solutions, again, if you're going to be doing certain gut health, you can put all those up at the top here. And by just putting a little star here, it'll all be there at the top. So as you go through to create your order at the very end, it just really cuts the noise and makes things very easy with placing orders through that.
I love this visual perspective. So I love what you're like. So you're kind of, when we think about, what are the labs that we're always going to start with? So for example, in my biggest package, I run the same 5 labs every single time, right? And then in my middle package is 3 of those 5 labs. And in my smallest package, it's 1 of those 5 labs. So as Joanne's going through and showing you this, like for me, I would put this in context. If I would put, those 5 labs as my favorites always, that I'm always going to use. So they're showing up at the top, like Joanne is showing us here. And then it looks like, Joanne, it's so easy just to click the little plus sign, essentially. So if you had, these are your favorites, right, up here at the top, just click the plus sign. So you're not having to go through this. See the time that it took, like Joanne said, like the first time you have to go through and do this, but every time after that, your favorites are just at the top. So you just took down, like, every minute counts in our business, right? So maybe on average,
you have to probably make it at night.
Can we mute that person? Maybe on average, it might take you like even 5 to 10 minutes to go through and do a custom order or an order. Like if we just do this favorites, I bet, Joanne, we could knock this down from 5 to 10 minutes to like 60 seconds, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. You do need to do this the very first time that you are in a specialty order, but right from the top, you can take anything out that you don't want very easily, and it will just be displayed in here that adding into the cart. You can't ever add anything more than once through that. So it's really just figuring out from all of our lab partners which food sensitivities are going to work best with you, which stool testing, and by putting just a quick little star here at the top, you're going to be able to really just make that order extremely effective as you're going through to place those orders.
Exactly. And like I said, every minute counts. Even if we can save 3 minutes, that's a bio break, right? It's an opportunity to go in, get in a couple of steps. And I even think about Joanne, like I saw Wendy, my intern, is on here. So if I'm delegating this to a team member and they're logging into my portal to make these orders, it is so easy for them to see those things up at the top and to make those orders for your clients super efficiently so that they can also get back to work doing other things that they need to focus on and do. I love this efficiency. It's amazing.
Absolutely, Jen. And I just want to make a point here for anybody on today's call too. If anybody is really new with Avexia, this is your test menu. Just kind of keep in mind you are not placing any orders in this section, but this is where you're going to be able to get all of the information about any of the labs, be able to design your packages. So when you click on any of the specialty labs, it's going to bring you up to that entire test menu just from that lab partner. And then, for example, anywhere through here, as you click on this, again, we're not placing an order yet, you're going to get all of the concrete information about that test, analytes. You're going to get a sample report of everything that you're going to be able to do. So you're really going to be able to make decisions of which tests that you do want to order. For conventional labs, you can do that prior to being in an order. So in this section too, if you're just going to order some of the blood work, routine labs in this area, really easy just to find what you want to, anything that may be, anything that you want to order on a individual basis, you're able just to put a little star here. It's going to make that as a favorite right off the bat. This whole section is for everybody just to look up everything we offer for conventional labs through LabCorp. We do also have an area here for any of the pre-made Avexia panels that you're going to be able to click on any of those. My apologies, booted this out. But be able to go back in real quickly and then go ahead and find, if you do want to look at any of our great Avexia panels, you can go ahead and find any of those through here. And then as you are navigating through, we do have several pre-made custom panels. You can hover over any of those. We do have those broken out into different categories. And by just putting a star here, as you are in an order, that'll be the first thing at the top. Mm-hmm. So again, you can do that both for the specialty labs as well as for conventional labs.
Awesome. Amazing. So I'm going to show you guys an example of what my package looks like here in just a moment. So you're going to see what I'm talking about is that we're going to have, the idea, again, to create efficiency in our business to reduce overhead cost. We want to niche down so that we can create a repeatable process, like this workflow process that allows us to work more efficiently in a way that gets clients results as well too, which then we can be more strategic in pricing and be more profitable and actually scale and handle more clients also. So let's go ahead and move on and talk about pitfall number 3, which is time frame specific programs. And I mentioned this before as well too. I tried time frame specific programs and it really prevented me or got in the way of me seeing clients through their protocols and transformation. I know your work as a functional health practitioner or coach is unique because I am one too. And your client cases are unique as well. Your clients came to you looking for personalized solution. They've already tried a lot of things that are out there. So clients need someone who can meet them where they are at, guide them along the healing journey and see them to the very end. And as I mentioned before, trying to predict all that they fit it into a 90-day or 6-month window isn't always going to work. Plus, your time per week or month is limited. So you kind of reach a limit for how many clients you can fit into a specific time frame of, we're going to meet, twice a month for the next 6 months, right? And when we know exactly, like who this person, this ideal client is, this niche, again, like We know what their problems are. We know what solutions that they need to help us understand how we can actually work more efficiently and meet them where they are. So the solution is to give yourself the flexibility to support them in the way that they need it most, to give them the support and accountability and guidance that they actually need to get results and give you a shining testimonial. So this is where I made a pivot, as I created one-on-one programs based on a total number of sessions, which then allowed me to meet with a client more frequently in the beginning. Like I mentioned earlier, I start meeting with them every 2 weeks. And then less towards the end. As they become more comfortable and compliant, then we space the sessions out like every 3 weeks and every 4 weeks. This also gives you the flexibility to see them through whatever the lab test results might throw at you. And it's constantly creating this space in your calendar to always be able to handle a steady flow of clients rolling in without burning out, so you can make a healthy income doing what you love, right? It also allows you to be nimble. Like, what if you want to go on vacation? Or what if your clients want to go on vacation? What if you get sick or they get sick? When those things happen, we're still trying to fit them into a time frame specific scenario. It becomes harder and harder to do that. So, focusing more on a total number of sessions gives you breathing room in your practice. And it also, again, reminder, it allows you to meet them where they are. Do they need more or less touch points? What is the frequency that's going to set them up for success? For example, like, once I start spacing sessions out to maybe every 3 weeks or 4 weeks, if all of a sudden a client like gets off track or isn't feeling well in their protocol, we have the flexibility to bump up that session and maybe get back into a 2-week cadence for a period of time to give them the support that they need, right? I'm not forcing myself or them into a specific structure. Okay, let's check in really quick on what we've covered so far. We've covered the 3 most common client program pitfalls and the income changing solutions. We just kind of talked about package structures that increase client compliance, get them results, and ultimately create an amazing experience for them to have them send you more referrals. Next, we're going to talk about strategic pricing strategies so that you can actually build profit into your business, which is going to help you to achieve that financial freedom and ultimately allow you to help more people and live your best life, right? So I'd love to know, we're going to check in here about who's paying attention, is how many of you have like kind of randomly chosen prices about your offerings out of thin air based upon what you think that you should be charging or based on what you see others charging out in the industry? So give me a me. I love Emily's just owning it. I did this too in the beginning. I wasn't really sure exactly what to do. And so this is, nobody really teaches us this, right? Like, how do we actually calculate profitable pricing? So as we just discussed, though, once you have a roadmap for how you will ideally work with this niche ideal client, you can then strategically price yourself to ensure that you are profitable. Because remember, as we talked about, like, we're going to design these packages based on exactly what we know that they need. Which lab tests do they need up front? What types of sessions are going to be involved? How much time are we going to spend inside and outside of sessions? And then how do we value that time based on the years of experience that we bring, and maybe other resources or tools that are included to help them along the way. So, like, for example, I have a welcome gift that all of my clients get with a supplement organizer and a bottle of Megaspore probiotic and some samples of my favorite beauty counter products or electrolytes, because I know that those are going to be things that are going to help them along the way. Now, that welcome gift comes with some overhead cost for me that I need to make sure that I am calculating that into my packages to make sure that I am profitable with my pricing, right? Or maybe you know that your clients are going to need a glucose monitor at some point in time. Well, why don't we just include that in the package, calculate that into the price, so it makes it really easy for them to engage in the utilization of that tool to help them get results. And you're also making sure that you are profitable as a result. So here is the insides of one of my packages, the detailed calculation of everything that I'm including. So I know in my biggest package, like I mentioned before, there's 5 lab tests that I always want to start with to help me collect as much information upfront as possible, to understand what's going on with this ideal client of mine so that I can then create a protocol to get them results. I'm always running like a Dutch test, a GI map, a food sensitivity test, metabolic typing, a metabolic profile. So again, those could be things in Avexia that I go in and I star those labs. So it takes me or my assistant 30 seconds to order them to create that efficiency. I know exactly what health assessments, intake forms I'm always going to have them do, which I use Biocanic. I know some of you guys are familiar and have seen Biocanic here at Avexia as well too. I'm including their first round of supplements because I want to reduce that barrier to entry and getting them on supplements so that they can start healing immediately. And I have calculated what that expense is going to be in the package so that I can then price it to make sure that I am profitable. I know that I have those 18 sessions that I said here and exactly how much time it's going to take me in session, and then also to prepare for each one of those sessions, along with those reassessment sessions and other cool things, resources I'm going to include, like a welcome gift or an encouragement gift, so that I can be strategic about calculating this price to know in order to be profitable, this program needs to be priced at $7,823. So when you know exactly what's included, you can calculate a profitable package designed to truly transform your clients' lives. Now, it's totally possible to take the content that I have shared so far and implement it right away to start increasing your income. And every single time I do this training, without fail, this is the point when people say they would love to walk through this proven formula together in detail. But here's the thing, we're almost at our time limit for this training. But as I said before, I'm not going to leave you hanging. I have a special expanded masterclass on this content that you can actually access instantly with the entire detailed framework and formula that we have been talking about here through this entire time. So if it's okay, in just a moment, I am going to briefly share the masterclass info with you before we move on so you can feel at ease knowing that you have support and resources available beyond the end of this training. But first, before I share the details with you, I want to show you how this all also comes together to not only help you increase your impact and income, but also to scale your business with freedom. This approach to profitably packaging yourself actually simplifies the decision-making process for the client or patient that's in front of you during an enrollment or consultation call, making it easy for them to say yes and invest. It also provides a blueprint for your signature system or method, which will give you confidence and actually help you stand out in the crowd of this industry in a unique way. This also allows you to establish an organized workflow process so that you can work more efficiently and effectively, essentially working smarter, not harder. And this is the foundation to then implement things like systems so that you can template, delegate, and automate, giving you the true ability to really work harder, not smarter, and ultimately scale with freedom. Now, I recognized the need to do this very early on my business. Once I had just a handful of clients, I realized that it wasn't sustainable or scalable to be customizing and manually doing things all the time. I needed to systematize things in order to template, delegate, and automate my business so I could work less but help more people and have that, beautiful time to spend with my loved ones and take really good care of myself. The framework of these packages also then provides you the concepts and the blueprint to run group programs, which can be easy points of entry to upsell into your one-on-one programs like this, or eventually when you've scaled your business to a certain level, they become the primary revenue strategy and driver for your business. So now that you have the complete picture, here's how you can get the support and resources that you need to easily execute this content with my expanded business masterclass. This is going to give you that detailed framework that you'll need to walk through this step by step to feel confident in executing everything that we've talked about today. And here's the thing, big stuff happens for our clients when they go through this program. Because the first step is nailing your niche and that core marketing message like we talked about before in order to stand out in the crowd and attract your ideal client. That is going to be the first section that we're going to cover in this masterclass. The second section is all about helping you to design your profitable package in detail, step by step, so that you can work more efficiently and effectively to create the impact and income you desire. And then in the section 3 of the masterclass, we're actually going to talk about how you use the insights gathered about your niche in order to target your marketing strategies with proven ways that are best for you and aligned for you, going to give you the greatest return on your investment to generate revenue immediately. And I'm also going to show you how to leverage our proven discovery call script to effortlessly enroll clients in one of these types of programs, regardless of the cost. And ultimately, that's going to lead you to step number 4, which is streamlining your practice to scale with freedom. And this masterclass is the roadmap to making 10K or more per month working with your ideal niche clients and quickly. So this is how it works, the masterclass. Once you decide to enroll by scanning this QR code here or going to this link here below, you're going to get instant access to this comprehensive 5-hour recorded masterclass that is completely self-paced. And don't worry, we're going to give you some guidance on how to tackle those different sections in smaller chunks of time if you would like to. Like I said in section 1, you're going to nail your niche and your core marketing message, which is going to give you the insights that you need to move on to section 2 to design your profitable packages using our profitable package formula to increase your impact and income. And then that is going to set the premise for section number 3. We're going to talk about using all of these insights in order to target your marketing strategies and be successful with your consultation or enrollment conversations that you're having using our proven script. And again, this is that fast track to making 10K or more per month. And the best thing is that I get to actually work with you as part of this masterclass because there is a 45-minute bonus business strategy session with me with the masterclass as well too. That alone is valued at $850, but in order to help you get out there and start doing this, you can access the masterclass for just one payment of $299. Now, let's get back to the rest of the training with the time that we have here. Now, doing this work together can immediately produce these types of results for your business like Piper here. So when Piper and I did this work with her initially, she immediately came in and shared that she got very clear on her niche, redesigned her packages. She booked 2 $5,000 packages on the spot and another $2,700 package. She said that her original vision board was for $10,000 a month, and she was upping that up to $20,000 a month. Now, recently, Piper, I just saw her in October, and she had already hit 600K in her business. This is what is possible for all of you too. So I wanted to show you how this is possible. Now that you've seen what's possible when you properly package yourself, we can then really get strategic and narrow in on how do we run our business in order to achieve our financial goals. And so this is what I like to call my little financial freedom calculator. And so I want you guys to put in the chat right now, like, what is your monthly revenue goal for you right now? And everybody is different. This is a safe space. We're not here to judge anybody about what our financial goals are. Everybody has a different personal situation. Some of us are working part-time. Some of us are working full-time. Some of us just do this as a hobby because we love it. But ultimately, we do have to pay attention to money because money is actually how we measure our impact that we're having. And we can all agree here that we want to have an impact, right? So Carrie's 25K, Hannah here is 1,500, Mylan's 10,000, amazing. So let's take my example here. Like, let's say the monthly income goal is $15,000. You guys just saw my package example. It's $7,800. So in order to reach my monthly income goal, I basically need to enroll 2 clients a month. Right? Now I can go, okay, how am I going to get those 2 clients a month? How many consultations, or what I like to call discovery calls, do I need to have every month in order to make sure that I enroll 2 clients a month? And so let's say that your conversion rate or your enrollment rate is 25%. When we first get started and we're kind of new at this, that's like a really reasonable percentage. For those of you who've been doing it for a long time, like I talked to a practitioner this morning, and her enrollment rate is 80%. So we're just going to go with the basis of 25%, worst case scenario, kind of. So that means you enroll 1 out of every 4 people that you talk to. So if we need 2 clients per month, then what that means that we need to multiply that by 4, which means that we need to have 8 consultations a month in order to get those 2 clients. Now we can be really strategic again. And what is the plan of action in order to make sure we get those consultations? What are we going to do on social media? Or what are we going to do with our podcast? Or what are we going to do with our partnerships locally, or networking talks, or things that we might be doing to market ourselves, right? So also what I want you to notice is, how simple does it feel to know that in order to make $15,000 a month, this could be possible for you, that you really only need 2 clients a month? When we profitably package ourselves, this is what helps us to get past the feeling of overwhelm and burnout. You don't have to be enrolling 20 people a month. You could do this with 2. Does that feel like a little bit of a relief for you? And yes, there are people out there that will pay this. I actually just recently increased this particular package, to $13,000. And for those of you who are thinking, I really want to help the people that can't afford it, I totally get that. What I'm going to encourage you to do is put your air mask on first. Let's make sure that your business is healthy and stable, that you are healthy and stable, and then we can do really cool things like I have done and create a nonprofit that expands out to help those other people too. And part of what allowed me to do that was having a profitable business that could help me start that nonprofit, right? So here is another example of Riley, I love him. I'm here in San Diego. He is a local acupuncturist that reached out to me. And as he says up here, like when we started working together, his goal was to bring functional medicine into his acupuncture practice because he wanted to create more work-life balance away from his brick and mortar. Like you guys know, as an acupuncturist, that's a lot of like in-person physical like labor time, right? So he wanted to build out this virtual practice and basically create some breathing space for himself. So Riley followed the roadmap that we've been talking about here today. Riley actually attended my workshop and then went on to continue working with me. And this is what happened for him. He came in and posted within a month, he made $11,000. He doubled what his initial goal was because he knew how to do this and put it into action. Now that we have covered all of the training points promised today, I still have one more question for you. Are you ready for a proven roadmap to success like we have discussed today? Because if you are ready to work more efficiently and effectively to increase your impact and income, then like I said before, my expanded masterclass has the proven roadmap for you to be able to achieve everything that we've discussed today and ultimately reach your business and financial goals. Like I said earlier, the masterclass will walk you through the full framework of the content that we just covered, step by step in detail, to help you execute it with ease so that you can walk away with nailing your niche and that core marketing message, the profitable package formula and design to increase your impact and income, and targeted marketing strategies with a proven enrollment consultation script to fast track you to making $10K or more per month, all included with a bonus 45-minute session with me to help you guarantee your success. You'll have instant access as soon as you enroll, which means that you can start to generate more revenue and a greater impact immediately. All you need to do is scan this QR code to get started and submit your one-time payment of just $2.99. And to help you easily and quickly execute the framework with clarity and confidence, I've even included a couple of other bonus tools for quick execution. Like I said earlier, is that 45-minute bonus mentoring session with me to guarantee your clarity, confidence, and your strategic next steps. but I'm also including an enrollment call example so you can hear me actually doing one of these enrollment calls with that proven script to see how easy, authentic, and effective that strategic script is. It doesn't feel salesy at all. You are delivering value and connecting with that client or patient on the other side of that conversation the entire time so that you can feel good about it and so can they. I'm also including a target market research sample call. So one of the bonuses that you're going to get in the workshop is actually a list of target market research questions that I'm going to guide you through using to interview and extract insights and data from your ideal clients that are going to help to be that guiding light for your most effective marketing strategies and outcomes. So you're going to get an inside look listening to me do one of these calls at all of the marketing gold that you're about to uncover with this strategy. So again, these are all included as part of the masterclass. And that means that as we wrap up here today, your next steps to scale your business with freedom is to scan this QR code to enroll in the masterclass, watch the masterclass, and listen to the bonus calls so that you're getting this full framework and detail so that you can instantly implement everything that we've covered today and more to increase your impact and your income. You're going to book your bonus session with me to then maximize your results. And while our time is up for this training, it is actually really only just begun. I really look forward to seeing you on my calendar for your bonus session so that we can work together collectively to create a better world of health that I know that we all truly desire.
Thank you, Jen, for this informative presentation. Thank you all again for joining us for this webinar event. Until next time, from everyone at Avexia Diagnostics, stay healthy, stay safe, and we wish you all the best on your pathway to wellness.